Deep in the forest, a snake turned into a beautiful young lady and kept walking down the road, and nobody knew that a simple job hunt would change the life of a powerful billionaire forever. Mr. Lawson was one of the richest men in the city. People called him a hard man. He was very strict at work. He paid his workers well, but he had no time for jokes. Everyone feared him. Everyone respected him. But inside his big heart, Mr. Lawson was lonely. He had money, big houses, many cars, and many companies, but he had no wife. He had never truly loved any woman. Many ladies came around him because of money. Some lied. Some pretended to love him. Some only wanted his wealth. Because of that, he closed his heart until the day Mira walked into his company. That morning, many young people filled the big hall of Lawson Group of companies. Some came from far places. Some borrowed clothes just to look good. Everyone carried a file. Everyone hoped their life would change that day. Among all of them stood a young lady. Her name was Mira. She was very beautiful, but her beauty was different. It was calm, soft, and quiet. Her skin was smooth. Her eyes were deep like river water. Her hair was long and black. She wore a simple dress and flat shoes, yet everyone kept staring at her. Many girls felt shy beside her. Many boys whispered to each other. But Mira stood quietly by the window, looking outside. One by one, names were called. People entered the interview room and came out. Some were smiling. Some were crying. Then it was her turn. Mira Lawson. She stood up and walked inside. Inside the interview room, Mr. Lawson sat alone behind a big glass table. He did not even lift his head when she entered. "Sit," he said coldly. She sat down gently. He picked up her file and flipped through it. "No work experience," he said. "Yes, sir?" She replied softly. "No strong school," he said again. "Yes, sir." He raised his head to look at her. The moment their eyes met, something moved inside him. He did not understand what it was. His heart beat faster. He swallowed. "What special thing can you do?" he asked. "I learn fast," she said. Her voice was calm and soft, like light music. He looked at her for some seconds. Something about her made him forget every rule he had. "You are hired," he said suddenly. Her eyes widened. "Thank you, sir," she said. After she left, Mr. Lawson found himself thinking about her all day. From that day, Mira started working in the company. She was quiet. She was humble. She greeted everyone. She learned very fast. Mr. Lawson started watching her without knowing. He noticed how she walked. He noticed how she smiled when she greeted people. He noticed how calm she always was. After some weeks, he asked for her number. She gave it to him. They started talking. They started going out. They started laughing. For the first time in many years, Mr. Lawson was happy. After some months, he asked her to marry him. She was surprised. "Me?" she asked. "Yes," he said. She thought about it for many days. Then she agreed. Their introduction was very big. People talked about it everywhere. Why would a billionaire want to marry an ordinary girl from Job Hunt? People asked. Some said she was lucky. Some said she used charm. But nobody truly knew her. The day Mira entered his mansion as his wife-to-be, she was shocked. The house was too beautiful. The floor was shining. The staircase was wide. The lights were bright like stars. She could not stop looking around. She touched the chairs. She touched the curtains. She touched the walls. She smiled like a little child. "This place is very beautiful," she said. Mr. Lawson smiled. From that day, Mira started spending time in the mansion. But something strange started happening. Mira never went into the bathroom. At first, Mr. Lawson did not notice, but after many days, he became curious. She slept. She ate. She dressed. But she never used the bathroom. One night, he decided to ask. "My love," he said gently, "why don't you use the bathroom here?" She turned to him slowly. "I am used to the one in my house," she answered. "I don't like using other people's bathroom." Mr. Lawson nodded. "All right," he said, but inside him, he did not fully believe her. Because how could someone stay in a house and never use the bathroom? Another thing he noticed was that every night, Mira always left the house and has never slept in his own house or hers. She always said she had something to do. She always returned before morning. But she never explained where she went. Mr. Lawson trusted her. He never followed her. He never asked further. He only stayed awake sometimes, thinking, unknown to him. Each night, when Mira left the house, she did not go to any friend's house. She did not go to any shop. She did not go to any party. She walked far, far, far into the forest. Deep inside the forest, there was a hidden world, a place humans could not see, a place full of strange beings. That place was the home of her people. Once Mira stepped into the forest, her body always felt free. Her heart always felt light. Someone would always be waiting for her. Many figures would gather. They were her clan. They would dance. They would sing. They would clap. They welcomed her every night. They always told her, "You belong here." But Mira always laughed. "I am human now, unlike you," she always said. Each time they danced, the leaves shook. Each time they sang, the wind moved. But when she was done, she always returned to the city before morning. Back to the billionaire's mansion. Back to her human life. Mr. Lawson never knew where she went. He only noticed that she always returned with calm eyes and soft smiles. One night, while sleeping, he suddenly woke up and found the bed empty. "Mira?" he called. No answer. He checked the house. She was gone. He sat on the bed, waiting. Hours passed. Morning came. Just then, she walked in quietly. "Where did you go?" he asked softly. "I went out for fresh air," she said. He nodded, but his heart was troubled. Inside the forest that same night, Mira's people were worried. "She is getting too attached to the human world," one voice said. "She must remember where she truly belongs," another voice replied. But Mira only smiled. "I just found a good man," she said. That is all. Mr. Lawson had been thinking for many nights. He was happy with Mira, very happy. But something inside him told him it was time to take a bigger step. He wanted to make her his wife, completely. Not just in his house, not just in secret, but in front of the whole world. One evening, after dinner, they sat together in the living room. The lights were soft. The room was quiet. Mira sat on one couch. Mr. Lawson sat opposite her. He looked at her for a long time. She noticed it. "Why are you looking at me like that?" she asked softly. He smiled. "Mira," he called gently. "Yes? I have something important to tell you." Her heart beat fast, though she did not know why. "What is it?" she asked. He stood up. He walked slowly to where she was sitting. Then he bent down on one knee. Mira's eyes opened wide. "Mira," he said, holding her hands. "I want us to get married properly. I want the world to know that you are my wife. I want to do a big wedding." For some seconds, Mira did not understand what he just said. Her mind was empty. "Married properly," she repeated slowly. "Yes," he smiled. "With wedding gown, with guests, my family and your family members, with rings, with vows." Her hands started shaking. Inside her heart, fear rose. Marriage? What is marriage? She had heard the word before. She saw humans celebrate it, but she never knew what it truly meant. In her world, there was no such thing. There was no wedding, no church, no rings, no vows. They only joined in spirit. They never belonged to one person forever. Mira wanted to be human. She liked human life. She liked walking freely. She liked eating human food. She liked sleeping on soft beds. She liked loving a human man. But she never wanted to be fully tied. Never forever. And another fear rose inside her. What if she is exposed during the wedding? What if her secret comes out? What if her true self shows up? Fear entered her eyes. I need to think about it," she said slowly. Mr. Lawson looked surprised. "Think about it?" he asked. "Is there any problem, Mira?" She stood up quickly. No problem," she said. "It's just too sudden. I need time." He nodded. "All right," he said gently. "Take your time." But that night, Mira could not rest. Her heart was heavy. Her mind was full. Love was pulling her to Mr. Lawson. Fear was pulling her back to the forest. Around midnight, she stood up from the bed quietly. She wore a long black cloth. She picked her bag. She moved slowly so Mr. Lawson would not wake up. She opened the door. She walked out. Outside, The night was cold. The stars were out. She walked to the main road. She raised her hand. A taxi stopped. She entered the car. "Where are you going to?" the driver asked. She gave the name of the small town near the forest. The driver looked at her through the mirror. "That place is very strange," he said. "People don't go there at night." She said nothing. They drove for a long time. The city slowly disappeared. Streetlights became few. Houses became fewer. Trees started appearing. After some time, the taxi stopped at a lonely road. "This is the farthest I can go," the driver said. Mira paid him. She opened the door and stepped down. The driver watched her. "Are you sure you know where you are going?" he asked again. She nodded once. Without a word, she turned and walked towards the forest. The driver watched her back disappear into the darkness. He shook his head slowly. "This girl is strange," he said. Then he drove away. Mira kept walking. The road ended. Bushes began. Big trees stood like giants. The air felt different, cold, heavy, quiet. She walked deeper into the forest. After some minutes, she stopped. She looked around. There was no one, no light, no sound. Then, something strange happened. Her body began to shake. Her bones began to shift. Her hands pulled inward. Her legs pressed together. Her skin became dry and shiny. Slowly, very slowly, Mira turned into a big black snake. Her eyes glowed in the dark. She no longer walked. She crawled. She moved fast between dry leaves and roots. She crawled until she reached a small open space inside the forest. There, another snake was waiting. The snake was bigger, darker, older. The two snakes faced each other. Then, something magical happened. Both snakes stood upright. Their bodies shook. Their shapes changed. In seconds, they turned into humans. Mira became a young woman again. The other snake became an old woman. Her hair was white. Her eyes were deep. Her face was full of lines. She was strong. She was feared. She was the leader, the mother of the clan. Mira quickly went down on her knees. She bowed her head. "Mother," she said softly. The old woman looked at her. "You are late," the old woman said. "I am sorry," Mira replied. There was silence. Then Mira slowly lifted her head. "My mother," she said, her voice shaking. "I have something to tell you." The old woman moved closer. "Speak," she said. Mira took a deep breath. "I am in love with the human," she said. The old woman paused. "My heart has chosen him," Mira continued. "He loves me too." The old woman said nothing. Mira gathered more courage. "He wants to marry me," she said. The forest became very quiet. The wind stopped. Even the insects stopped making noise. The old woman's eyes widened. "What did you say?" she asked slowly. "He wants to marry me," Mira repeated. "I want to marry him too. I want to live with him forever. As a human." Suddenly, the old woman screamed loudly. "Never!" Her scream shook the forest. Birds flew away. Leaves fell from trees. Mira fell back in fear. The old woman's eyes turned red. Her voice became heavy. "You want to disgrace us?" she shouted. "You want to leave your people?" She screamed again. "I want to be happy," Mira cried. "Happiness is not with humans," the old woman shouted. "They will destroy you. They will expose you. They will kill you when they find out who you are." Mira shook her head with tears. "He is different," she said. "They're all the same," the old woman replied. Mira held the ground in fear. "I love him," she whispered. The old woman walked around her like an angry lion. "Love?" She laughed bitterly. "Do you know what love has cost this clan in the past?" Mira was confused. "I don't understand," she said. The old woman stopped in front of her. "You think humans will accept you when they know the truth?" she asked. Mira kept quiet. "You think marriage will hide your blood?" the old woman added. Mira's tears dropped on the soil. "I just want to live like them," she said. The old woman raised her hand in the air. "If you choose that man," she said slowly, "you choose war." Mira trembled. "War?" she whispered. "Yes," the old woman replied. "Between your world and his world." Mira shook her head. "I don't want war. I just want love." The old woman's voice softened for a second. "You are young," she said. "You don't know what you are doing." Mira stood up slowly. "I know one thing," she said bravely. "I love him." Silence fell again. The old woman looked at her deeply. Her eyes were full of anger and fear and something else. Regret. "You will regret this," the old woman said slowly. "The day you step into that wedding ground, your secret will begin to wake up." Mira swallowed hard. "I am not afraid," she said, though her heart was beating fast. The old woman turned her back. "Go," she said, "but remember this night." Mira's body shook. She slowly transformed back into a snake. She crawled away into the darkness. As she left, the old woman whispered, "The human world will soon know what you truly are." Mira returned to the mansion very early that morning. The sky was still pale. The birds had not fully started singing. The house was quiet. She entered softly and went back to the bedroom. Mr. Lawson was already awake. He had been waiting. When he saw her enter, his heart felt light for a moment. "You are back," he said gently. "Yes," she replied softly. She dropped her bag and sat on the edge of the bed. Mr. Lawson looked at her carefully. Her eyes were calm. Her face showed no fear. But something inside him did not feel right. Later that morning, while they were eating breakfast, Mr. Lawson decided to ask the question that had been burning in his heart. "Mira," he said slowly, "why do you always go back to your house?" Mira stopped eating. Her hand froze in the air. The spoon almost fell. She did not answer. Mr. Lawson watched her face. "Mira?" he called again. She slowly dropped the spoon and looked down at the table. The room became very quiet. The clock on the wall ticked loudly. Mr. Lawson's heart beat fast. "Do you love me at all?" he asked softly. Mira's eyes widened. She quickly lifted her head and nodded. "Yes," she said quickly. "I love you." "Then why do you always leave?" he asked. She opened her mouth to talk, but no words came out. Tears filled her eyes. "There is something I will tell you," she said slowly. "But not now. At the right time." "When is the right time, Mira?" he asked gently. She shook her head. "I cannot tell you now," she whispered. Mr. Lawson sighed. He did not shout. He did not get angry. He only nodded slowly. Later that day, he brought up another matter. "Mira," he said gently, "since we are planning to get married, I would like to meet your parents. I should come to your house and do the right thing." The moment he said that, Mira froze. Her whole body became stiff. Her eyes opened wide. Her lips trembled. My parents?" she stuttered. "Yes," he said. "I want to formally visit them before the wedding." Mira stood up suddenly. She began to walk around the room nervously. I will take you to them before the wedding," she said quickly. "But not now." "Why not now?" Mr. Lawson asked. She could not look into his eyes. "I am not ready," she said. Her voice was shaking. Mr. Lawson smiled helplessly. "All right," he said. But deep inside his heart, he knew something was very wrong. Very wrong. As days passed, Mr. Lawson became more worried. Mira still did not sleep in the house every night. She still did not use the bathroom. She always waited till night before leaving, and she always returned very early in the morning. And each time he asked questions, she always avoided answers. One evening, while sitting alone in the living room, Mr. Lawson made a decision. "I must find out the truth," he told himself. That night came again. Mira dressed up in a dark cloth as usual. She picked her bag. She walked towards the door. Mr. Lawson followed her with his eyes. "Good night," she said. "Good night," he replied. "I will return early," she added. Then she opened the door and left. As usual, Mr. Lawson asked again. "Let me drop you," he said. "No," she answered quickly. "Let the driver take you then," he insisted. "No, please," she said firmly. "I want to go alone." She turned and walked away. The gate closed. Mr. Lawson stood still. His heart was beating fast. Something inside him said, "Follow her." He waited for a few seconds. Then he quietly picked up his car keys. He moved outside quietly. He started his car gently. He drove slowly behind her, keeping distance. He watched as she entered a taxi. He followed the taxi from a safe distance. The city lights slowly faded. The houses disappeared. The road became lonely. Trees began to appear. Then the taxi stopped near a bushy area. Mira came down. She paid the driver. The driver looked confused. He said something to her, but she did not reply. She only nodded and walked away into the darkness. The taxi drove off. Mr. Lawson parked his car far away. His hands were shaking. "This is madness," he whispered. He stepped down quietly and followed her on foot. She walked deeper into the bush. He followed at a distance. He tried not to make noise. Dry leaves cracked under his shoes. His heart beat loud in his ears. After a few minutes, Mira stopped. She stood still. Mr. Lawson quickly hid behind a tree. He peeped from the side. He saw her standing alone. Nothing around her. No path. No house. No light. Just trees. Then suddenly, Mira stepped forward. She walked a little more. And then, she vanished. Just like that. She disappeared into thin air. Mr. Lawson's eyes widened. He looked around wildly. "Mira?" he almost screamed, but he quickly covered his mouth with both hands. His heart nearly jumped out of his chest. "What just happened?" he whispered in fear. He waited. 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes. Nothing. No sound. No movement. His whole body began to shake. Unknown to him, Mira had turned into a snake. She had crawled away in silence. He did not see the transformation. All he saw was that she vanished, disappeared, like smoke. Fear attacked his mind. His legs felt weak. He wanted to run, but his feet refused to move at first. "What kind of woman did I bring into my house?" he whispered in fear. After some minutes, he gathered strength. He turned and ran back. He ran faster than he had ever run in his life. He jumped into his car. He did not look back. He drove straight home, in fear. His hands were trembling on the steering. His heart was beating painfully. By the time he reached the mansion, his shirt was soaked with sweat. He locked the door. He leaned against it, breathing heavily. "Mira," he whispered. "Who are you?" That night, he did not sleep. He sat on the bed till morning, waiting, thinking, shaking. Early in the morning, Mira returned again. She entered the room quietly. She looked at him with surprise. "Why are you awake?" she asked softly. Mr. Lawson looked at her. His eyes were full of fear, full of confusion, full of questions, but he said nothing. He only nodded slowly. His heart whispered one thing: this woman is not normal. The following day, again, Mira returned to the house very early that morning as usual. The sky was just getting bright. The birds were starting to sing. The house was silent. She entered quietly into the bedroom, but something was different. Mr. Lawson was sitting on the bed. He was not sleeping. He was not smiling. He was just looking at the wall. When Mira saw him, she stopped walking. "Good morning," she said softly. Mr. Lawson did not answer. He could not even look at her. His heart was beating fast inside his chest. His hands were shaking slightly. He remembered the night she vanished in the forest. He remembered how she disappeared before his eyes. Fear had entered his blood. Mira walked closer. "Why are you awake so early?" she asked gently. He forced a small smile. I couldn't sleep," he replied. She nodded and went to sit on the bed. But Mr. Lawson stood up immediately. He could not stay close to her. That morning, they prepared for work. They entered the same car as usual, but the journey was very quiet. Mira looked at him once. "You are very quiet today," she said. "I am just tired," he replied. But inside his heart, he was screaming. At the office, Mr. Lawson could not concentrate. He sat in his big office. Files were on the table. His laptop was open, but his mind was not there. He kept seeing Mira in his head. He kept seeing the forest. His hands were sweating. His staff noticed. His secretary entered the office and stood in front of him. "Sir, are you okay?" she asked. He lifted his head slowly. "Yes," he said. "I am fine." But his voice was weak. Throughout the day, he made many mistakes. He signed wrong papers. He forgot meetings. He shouted without reason. Everybody noticed that something was wrong with their strong boss. When they returned home in the evening, Mr. Lawson did not even eat properly. Mira noticed his strange behavior. She wanted to ask questions, but she said nothing. As night came, the house became quiet again. As usual, Mira prepared to leave. She wore her dark cloth. She carried her bag. She walked towards the door. "Good night," she said softly. Mr. Lawson's heart almost beat out of his chest. "Wait," he said suddenly. She turned. "Yes? I want to show you something," he said. She looked surprised. "What is it?" "In the bathroom," he said. "Come and see." Her eyes widened slightly, but she followed him. They entered the bathroom together. Mr. Lawson's heart was beating like drum. His ears were hot. His body was weak. He remembered clearly that she had never entered the bathroom before. Never. He turned and locked the door quietly. Mira looked confused. "Why did you lock it?" she asked. "There is something I want to show you," he replied. He walked to the shower. He turned it to face Mira. "Come closer," he said. She stepped closer, slowly. He swallowed hard. Then he turned on the water. Instantly, water poured heavily from the shower. The sound was loud. The water touched Mira's skin. Mira screamed loudly. "No." Her body began to shake. Her hands twisted. Her legs pulled together. Her skin changed. Her body dropped to the floor. Before Mr. Lawson's very eyes, Mira turned into a big black snake. Her human form was gone. Her eyes were now glowing. She hissed angrily. Mr. Lawson screamed at the top of his voice. Fear struck him like thunder. He ran out of the bathroom. He ran out of the room. He ran down the stairs. He did not even know how he reached outside. He shouted for his guards. "Help! Help! Snake! Snake in the house!" The security men rushed inside with guns and sticks. They searched everywhere. They searched the bathroom. They searched the bedroom. They searched the hallway. They searched the whole house. But they found nothing. No snake. No woman. No sign of Mira. The bathroom was empty. Only water was on the floor. Mr. Lawson was shaking like a leaf. "She was here," he cried. "She turned into a snake before my eyes." The guards looked at each other. They did not see anything. Some thought he was losing his mind. Some thought he had a bad dream. But Mr. Lawson knew what he saw. That same night, he packed his clothes. He packed his papers. He packed only the important things. He left the house before morning. He bought another house far from that place. He changed location. He changed road. He changed drivers. He changed everything. From that day, he never saw Mira again. Days passed. Weeks passed. Months passed. The house he once lived in became empty. Dust covered the floors. The gates stayed locked. People started whispering. Why did the billionaire suddenly leave that house? Some said his wife ran away. Some said she died. Some said she was kidnapped. But Mr. Lawson never told anyone the truth. At night, he still remembered her face, her smile, her soft voice, her gentle eyes. Sometimes he would wake up in fear. Sometimes he would see her in his dreams. Sometimes he would hear her voice calling him. But when he opened his eyes, she was never there. Inside the forest, Mira returned to her true home. Her people welcomed her back. But she was not happy. Her eyes no longer smiled. She no longer danced with joy. She no longer sang with peace. She had lost the man she loved. The old woman looked at her one night. "You see now?" the old woman asked. "Humans and our world can never mix." Mira said nothing. Tears rolled down her face. She had tasted love. She had tasted human life. But she lost it all in one night. From that day, Mr. Lawson never loved again. He never trusted again. And he never spoke of Mira again. But deep inside his heart, he would never forget. The woman he loved was never human.